sections. And also, if anybody has any idea, and if somebody has some kind of idea for the projects, let me know. Otherwise, I will assign some of the projects which you need to work. Okay. This project is basically, on machine learning. uh, so because of time and other things, we are not going very in-depth into projects. Basically, mostly we are doing classification and regression projects. So out of two batches, maybe first some 8 batches will be the classification problem. We work on eight batches will be on the regression problem. What I will do is, basically, today I will explain the classification problem. Tomorrow I will explain the regression problem, and I will share these files, and I will also give the data for some other problems. So you guys need to take this code and run parallelly and give back to me the outputs. Okay, that's the plan. Okay, today we are discussing the classification problem. What is the classification problem? As soon as I say classification problem, you need to feel that our dependent variable is the nominal data, and you have to classify the problem. You have to classify the feature based on the present data. So what we are working today under a classification problem, we are working. Yeah, we are working on data called telecom churn modeling. Telecom churn is basically people. Some people will prescribe the telecommunication services, and after some time they will disconnect. They will leave. So now we need to predict why people are leaving why the people are leaving from the subscription, because your dependent variable is leaving or continuing. So this is the categorical variable. Hence, this problem is referred as classification problem. So all the variables we have, like customer ID and name, credit score, geography, gender, age, tenure, balance, number of products he has, how many cards he has, is he active member or not, estimated salary, why he has exit or continue. If he is continuing with this one, if he is exit from the telecommunication services, 0. Now we need to predict uh, this column, and in future, if somebody, why we need to build the model, because if somebody comes in future, if you want to predict the for future, if you have this information through input data, through the independent data will predict the future data. So that's why we build the classification problem. Before getting into the code, I will explain how a project looks like. This is how you need to also submit the project. So your thesis predominantly has the 4 sections. So the first chapter is basically the scope of the problem. Wait. Yeah. So it's basically your thesis will have the, this is what the kind of thesis you have to present for your award. So these are all other information. So basically, your project will be composed, your complete thesis will be, project report will be composed into the 4 sections. The first section is basically scope of the problem. What is the problem you are solving? For example, in this particular problem, the problem is related to identify the credit card and customer cancellation from the bank. That is the problem. And you need to give the what is the data source, what are the different, you basically tell about your scope of the problem. Second one is basically review of the chapters. So in the review of the chapters, basically, because we are working with the machine learning, we need to put all the content related to the machine learning in the chapter 2. That's why this complete chapter, this is basically common. This I will give it to everyone. Only you guys need to change your scope of the problem, and this will be common. Whatever you have written so far in the notes, everything will be here. So review of the machine learning, what is the machine learning, why we have different types, how to choose the different types of machine learning, how to validation, model diagnosis, everything will be there in the second. Third one is machine learning work. So whatever problem you are working, you need to execute to the Python and put all your outputs in this chapter 3. Okay, that's why we call machine learning at work. And fourth one is basically conclusions. Once you run the machine learning, you will get some scores for training and testing data. That all comes under the conclusion. Then appendix, basically you need to put the Python code, and you also need to give some kind of references. This is how bibliography. This is how you guys need to compile your project report and submit to the department for your award. So anyway, I will share this one document, this for PDF. So for everyone, the second Second, unit is the same. That is introduction about the machine learning. Only the first scope of problem will change, output will change, and this one will change. What that is, conclusion and summary will change. Okay, now we'll come back to our problem and see how we are going to solve. So this problem is basically a churn modeling. We need to predict the credit card churn based on the input data and predict it. So now once you define the scope of the problem, you run the complete second unit, then you come into the third unit. In the third unit, basically what you need to do, you need to basically execute the Python code and put the outputs in thesis. So I will show this problem. So as I told you, now you are aware of, we will use like pandas, scikit-learn, numpy for Python to solve this, to work on the machine learning projects using Python. And also we have seen various steps for the machine learning process, like reading data, like understanding data using descriptive statistics, some charts, then pre-processing data, finding outliers, finding missing values. In case of outliers, we will remove them by using 95th percentile concept. We'll see the missing value. In case of missing value, we'll replace them. And once we have, everything is clean, then we split the data into training and testing. Then for better generalization capability, that's we called overfitting, the cross validation. Then what we do, as machine learning, there is no free hunch algorithm. We try to build various algorithms, and based on that algorithms, accuracy, we will find the best model. Okay, that's what the pipeline we will say. So let's see what we'll do here. So first, what we are trying to do, we are trying to import the libraries. Import NumPy as NPy, Matplotlib as PLT, Pandas as PD. These are the alliances we are calling using. Oh, sorry. Okay. So using machine learning. Sorry. Then what we are trying to do, we are trying to read the data. So what is our data? Read underscore CSV function from the pandas will help us you to read the CSV data file into your Python environment. And we are setting that as a data set, which is a data frame. And after reading the data, we are trying to print. So if I do that, 1 minute here. Let's clear it everything. By that, okay. Now there is no output. Now what we are trying to do, we are just reading this. Then we are then just we are reading the data. We are reading the data by using read underscore CSV function from the pandas. After executing this second column, your data will be stored at a data frame called data set. Now, once you read the data, you need to check whether you read the data properly or not. For that, you need to see whether all the columns and the rows read properly or not. For that, we will see the shape command and see how many rows and columns are there. So we have 1000 rows and 14 columns. Now we need to go to raw data and see whether all the data has read properly or not. That's what we will see this data. So we have, if you see, we have 1000 rows and how many 14 columns. So all the columns are read properly. So that's what shape command will do. Now after doing that, what we need to see, the data types. So what is the data types? Basically, if it is integer, it will give the integer. If it is categorical or string, it will give the objective. That's what we need to see. So row number is a number, customer ID is integer, surname is objective because of the string, credit score is number because of integer. Geography is basically a string, that's why objective. Gender is a string, that's why an objective. Categorical variable, age is an integer variable, tenure is integer variable, balance because it is the numbers float, and expiry excited is whether you are there is also came as integer, but we need to make this as a float or objective. But as 10, it's okay even if you don't change it, because when you are working with more than two categories, then you need to change it. After reading data, you need to see for the first 10 column, that's why data dot set. So this probably will give the, it will basically print the first 10, uh, rows of the data. If you want to see the same for first 20 also, you can do by doing this. This is just see whether data is properly read or not. I can see whether everything is properly read. Sometimes what will happen, this tenure will comes under balance, balance will comes under non-product, because if it is not properly comma separated. Okay, that's why you need to view the data from the Python environment and make sure that your data is read properly under respective variable names. Clear? So once we read the data, what is the first step we need to see? We need to see is there any missing values are there, because missing values are most critical steps in the So for that, what we have a comment called is null. So what I am doing, so data set that I already written these comments also. Please see this. So is null, missing value. So what this is null is sum. If it is null, one, otherwise zero, and then dot sum. Then what is after executing this command, for each variable you will see how many number of cases are missing. So sum of the missing values. Now if you see, luckily in this data there is no missing values. In case you are working any other data, if they have missing values, this is what you need to use. You just need to impute either using median or mode. Okay. Then same thing I think I am seeing in the missing values using some plots also. This is called heat map. Let's see. So if your missing values are here, here you will get otherwise. This I already showed in another example. Now what we need to do now I need to understand the data by using descriptive statistics. For that, first I need to understand how many people are there with the churn or not churn. That's why I'm doing this bar diagram. So I need to understand from my 1,000 people, there are around 8,000 people are not churn. Only 2,000 people left the bank. So this will give that count. Similarly, I can see the counts also, the churn count. This is how you will see the descriptive statistics. We already seen yesterday also, and if you want to convert them into the percentage, you just divide it by the number of people. That's why we are doing data shape dot zero. That will give the number of people. So by that we will get the percentages. Now if you want to understand all the descriptive statistics, this data dot describe. So this data dot describe will basically give the, for all the continuous variable, it will give the mean, median, standard deviation, and all the values. And if you want to understand the kurtosis, skewness, like that, you need to do this for every variable. The same. Now the next step is, once the missing values are done, then you need to basically see is there any outliers are there. We already discussed how do you find the outliers for the continuous variables by using the box plot. So I do the box plot. So by doing the box plot, we can understand all the points which are below this whisker or above this whisker are the outlier. So that means there are some outliers. Similarly, if you see the balance also there is no outlier. But if you see the estimated salary, there is no outlier. So we have only outliers, so which are there in credit score. So how do we remove the outliers? I already told you that if the outlier is in the less than bottom side, we need to pull back into the fifth percentile. If it is in the top side, we need to put them into the 95th percentile. That's what we are doing. Data set that location, if it is location is less than fifth percentile, then we are making them into the fifth quantile. The fifth percentile, what we are doing. So after doing that, if you do the same credit score, the outliers has gone. Okay, there is no outliers now. So now, if you want to, this is how we will do all the continuous variable. Tomorrow, whatever project you are doing, this is what you need to do it. Now, what we are trying to do, now we need to understand the relationship between gender versus sex in churn. That's what. So the similar logic, if it is a continuous variable, you do the histogram and you do the box plot and see is there any outliers and remove the outliers. If it is a categorical variable, try to find the category, cross tabulation with the dependent variable. If your dependent variable is categorical variable, that's why if in order to find the relationship between the two categorical variable, we do the cross tabulation. So that's what I have done. I found is there any gender relation, that's what gender versus this I have done. And similar thing I can see the graph. So I can see that gender is not that much affecting, similar kind of proportions. Now we already discussed how can you find the relationship between the two continuous variables, scattergrams. So expected salary and credit card, two are continuous variable. I basically done this scatter kind of plot. You need to do this kind of more in your data. Similarly, I can do now I want to understand one categorical, one continuous data. I can use the feature map. Here, credit score is basically continuous variable. Excited is basically my dependent variable is the classification. That's why I can plot this feature map, one for 0 and one for 1. These are the medians. I can see it's not a much difference, very close difference. That's how you need to understand the data using descriptive statistics and visualization. This is what you need to do it on our other projects also. Once you read the data, you need to check for the missing value. Then you need to check for the outliers for each continuous variables. If there is outliers, remove the outliers by using the quantile. Then if you want to understand relationship between each variable with the dependent variable, if your independent variable is the continuous and your dependent variable is categorical variable, then you need to do the feature map. and both are categorical variable, you need to do the chi-square value. That's what we have done. So after that, if you want to understand the relationship among all the independent variables, then you do the correlation. So because here I want to see relationship between credit score, age, tenure, balance for all these variables, I have basically done the correlation variable. This will be the intercorrelation. This intercorrelation will help you to find the multicollinearity, and in case if any two independent variables are highly correlated, we can use either of these variables. And whatever we have seen, all the univariate, this we call as a filter method, which will help you to eliminate the insignificant variables from the model. So if you plot some, gender, if you plot one feature map gender by credit score, if you see gender is not affecting, then don't consider that variable. That's what we are doing all this exploration. Okay. Now, as I told you that we need to understand the statistical significance also. For the statistical significance also, if both are continuous variables, we'll do the correlation. If the correlation is significant, we can use that variable in the model. Let's say if it is the categorical variable, what we do, we can calculate the chi-square, and if the chi-square is significant, then we can use that variable. For example, if you see here, I wanted to understand is there any relationship between gender and this one. So that's what I have done this. If you see the p-value is very less, that means it's not independent. There is a relationship with this variable, so I can use the variable. So that's how we need to see. We need to do all kind of these kind of things in your project also. So I think we have 4 minutes time. I will just recap what we have done. After that, once in the same link, we will do the model after 5 minutes. So guys, what I'm trying to do is basically, as machine learning is the representation, learning and optimization, we have to represent the variables properly in the model. For that, we need to provide the input data very efficiently. That's why once you read the data, you need to check for the missing value. If it is missing values are there, then we need to impute them. If it is more than 50% are there, then we exclude that variable. If it is not like that, we are very few people are there, then we'll use the impute method. Then you set the outliers for the continuous variables, and you remove the outliers by using percentile. You find the outliers using box plot and remove the outliers by using the fifth percentile concept. Then you can understand the each variable effect on the dependent variable by using different univariate statistics. If you are continuous variable, independent is continuous variable, dependent classification variable, you basically do the t-test and find the p-value. If the p-value is only significant, use the model. Or you can see the, sometimes instead of t-test also, we can see the relationship through diagrammatically. We can create a feature map and you see whether it is significant, then you can use it. If your independent is categorical variable and your dependent variable is categorical variable, you can do either a box plot, horizontal and vertical box plot, and from that also you can find out whether the particular variable is significant or not. Or you can do the chi-square test, and based on the significant you can use. So if the variable is not significant univariate level, you can remove the variable, because less variables, there has been some properties in the model. The model should be easy to use, easy to apply. It should be with easy, with minimum number of variables. So that's what we have done. Now once we connect, we will see the how we can build the model. Okay, we will connect around 11:45 in the same link, or otherwise I will send the other link. Okay, sure. Yeah, there. Okay. 8113 and 16. Okay. So as part of this story, only the first part for that